Yet another case done. I commend you, Mr. Payne. 49 cases solved, including several murders, robberies, intentional fire startings, and even the case of the evil dogs.
Yes, you hounded me on that one.
Oh, I didn't know you had a sense of humor in that critical brain of yours.
I find it easier to get answers out of potential suspects if they feel like I'm not interrogating them.
Of course, analytical to the end, as expected from my top junior detective. That being said, promotion to senior class is pressing closer. Only one case left, and you'll be sitting in an office just like mine.
Yes, but don't forget about my colleague.
You mean the child that follows you around?
His name is Larson.
So he has a name. I assume that once you have become a senior detective, he will be your first junior?
That is correct. I hold him tightly. He's kinda the Watson to my Sherlock.
In that case, I hope you can solve this successfully. You'll be receiving yet another murder case for this final test.
As expected, do you have the case file for me?
That I do. He calls himself Cleaver, from what previous detectives have been able to find.
Previous detectives?
Multiple detectives have been on this case. All have been slain by the hands of the very killer himself.
How many have fallen?
13. Some of the most skilled detectives fell trying to be the solver of this case. It supposedly died down a year ago, but for some reason, I don't know what, Cleaver has returned.
And you're sure this is the same killer?
Cleaver had a very specific way of killing. A specific weapon, if you will. Yeah.
A cleaver, I presume.
No, actually. He used an umbrella.
An umbrella? Are you sure that killer isn't the sidekick of that hero? What's his name again? Skullface?
Skullface's sidekick now uses fireworks. He's long since shed his umbrella.
That was merely a joke, but there's something I don't understand. Why does he call himself Cleaver?
I assume it would be because he wants to sound intimidating. Parasol doesn't exactly have the same ring to it. Now, if you're okay, I would like you to begin the case.
Yes, sir.
Payne, you have 3 days to complete this case. Failure to identify the culprit will result in loss of privileges to inspect crime scenes. That means no more solving mysteries.
I don't plan on failing, sir.
It's pool, Payne.
Solution. Cotton swab. Cough drop. The victim seems to have taken a swing to the neck, several other shots to the body with a blunt object. Look at the pattern on the spikes. The spokes on the umbrella wouldn't match that. That means it would have to be a baseball bat or maybe a sword hilt. I'm not sure. So that means it either wasn't Cleaver
or the information in the file was incorrect.
I was gonna say that Hayes lied to me, but that seems like a much more logical solution. The file given by the policeman says that he died at 3 p.m. I would say that's correct. Also, there are no signs of struggle. There are no scrapes on the ground or the sort to indicate the victim fought back. That means he was killed instantly by the first blow.
Sure. It's about 6 right now. We should start going home. Curfew's at 7.
Yes, sure. I believe that I've gotten all the evidence I can from this killing anyways. When we get home, put the frozen pizza in the microwave. We can work on this case again tomorrow. There's no way the weapons used for these murders could have been an umbrella. Most likely it was a baseball bat or something of the sort. I'm not sure because of the shape of the bruise.
What's so peculiar about the shape?
A baseball bat gets slightly wider to one end. This bruise stays the same shape the whole way through.
That doesn't narrow it much, does it?
No, it doesn't. We just went from a couple million to a couple thousand objects that could be used as Cleaver's weapon. However, this time it is clear that the victim fought back. Based on the scattered papers, Our culprit must have been right about here. He must have also been a bit taller than the victim, because he went for the back of the head first.
How much taller?
Not much. By judging the positioning of the first blow, the weapon must have been swung from the victim's far left. That means the culprit must have been a lefty, or must have had a really mean backhand.
No, our culprit must be a pro tennis player or a very strong lefty.
Correct. His right hand is clenched, but not all the way, as if it were holding on to something. From the positioning on the ground, it could have only been the culprit's leg. This mark on the culprit's left foot suggests that it could have kicked our culprit in the knee, which means that our culprit could have a bit of a limp.
What makes you think he could kick that hard?
Take a look at this bag. It has a symbol of the American soccer team on it. That means he was a big fan of the team. And this bag contains cleats.
Oh, so our culprit is 5'6", mostly likely left-handed, and now has a limp. Payne, you're so good at this.
I also have a headache and a parched throat. I say we go home. Once we're there, put on some hot chocolate and we'll take a bit of a rest. And that's just about all we have so far, sir.
Interesting. That's much more progress than any other detective has been able to make on this case. Up until now, I was convinced that the weapon was indeed a parasol.
About that, from the markings, it seems almost as if it's a thick staff or a bat, but not as wide, maybe about an inch in diameter.
I see. Excuse me, may I speak with Larry for a little bit?
Larson.
Right. I suggest you get some sleep. You seem really tired. And remember, it's cool. Take a walk.
So what is it that you want to talk about?
You and Payne are close to solving this mystery. Dangerously close, I would say.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna take my leave.
Wait, we haven't talked about anything yet. No way! I know who it is. Dang it, Payne, he's not answering. I have to get to him somehow.
I'm afraid that won't happen. I knew I was giving you a major hint, but I didn't think you would solve it this quickly. You are a threat to my existence after all.
Larson isn't picking up. I wonder if Hayes knows what's going on. Hayes isn't here either. Maybe he's at home. Finally. Hayes!
Payne, it's bad. I don't think he's breathing.
What?
It's Larson. I think Cleaver got him.
Hold on, I'm on my way. No. Larson.
I'm so sorry, Payne. I'll just do the math with sorrows.
Wait a second. You're over 5'6". You have a limp, and you're left-handed. You're the one who did this.
That is correct, Payne. It looks like you might be able to keep your job after all. But, sadly, not your life.
You were so innocent! You didn't have to do that. How could you?
That was my injured leg!
Exactly. And your other one. You are under arrest. Okay.
You're over 5'6", left-handed, and you're limping.
Larson.
I'm so sorry.
I'm alive!
Give the stuff back to him?
And then we should have a close-up of him two giving them.
Yeah, we'll take it from that angle as well.
Okay.
Hehehe.